Right now, a young girl is sitting in a classroom, terrified. Right now, a young girl is being denied her accommodations. Right now, a young girl is having her fundamental human rights violated in what is meant to be a safe place. Today, this young girl will beg for help, only to be met with the phrase she has come to dread. Just wait until you get into the real world. Then you'll see what real problems are. My name is Grace Mitchelson. I am an 18-year-old high school student and disability advocate. And I am this young girl. Many disabled students are being told that school is not the real world. From our parents, to our teachers, to our government's officials. This sentiment is repeated over and over again. It is frankly dismissive. Dismissive of the real emotions of youth. Dismissive of the real power youth has. As someone who is on the autism spectrum, school has always been a difficult place for me. I grew up feeling different, like I didn't fit in. I moved from school to school, desperate to find somewhere that I would feel safe and comfortable amongst my peers. I have spent hours upon hours in meetings with school staff attempting to advocate for support. I was ignored, told I was lying, and I was told that I couldn't rely on staff to solve all of my problems for me. I was bullied relentlessly by staff and students alike, so I began to experience school can't. Every morning I would wake up with a pit in my stomach, dreading what would happen to me at school. And every evening I would go to bed praying I wouldn't live through the night. My attendance dropped to around 30% as my depression, anxiety, and suicidal ideation worsened. This all led to my nervous system breaking. I developed Tourette syndrome at 14 and later functional neurological disorder or FND at 15. FND took away my ability to walk, some of my sight, and left me in excruciating pain for years. I've only recently regained my ability to walk due to intensive therapy. Now tell me, a person that developed multiple lifelong disabilities as the direct result of my school experiences, that school is not the real world. If school is real enough to make me develop these disabilities, it is certainly real enough to be the real world of all young people. My experience is not a unique one. Research tells us that autistic students experience far higher levels of bullying than non-autistic students. They don't receive enough or any support at school. They feel misunderstood by their teachers, and they move schools often. A recent study found the impact of school on autistic children's mental health is the number one reason that autistic children move schools. Clearly, it's not just the lack of academic help, but the toll on our mental health that forces these decisions to move. The school system isn't just failing us academically, it is hurting us emotionally. 78% of autistic students feel highly anxious at school. A quarter of autistic people have thought about dying by suicide, and 1 in 10 have attempted suicide. It's easy to hear these numbers as just that, numbers, but when I hear these numbers, I think of people like me. I think of a child sitting on the floor of their room, sobbing until their tears run dry. I think of a child feeling helpless as they watch their own body fall apart in front of them. And I think of my younger sister, as I watch the education system take her down the same path that I once walked. We need disabled youth to stop being dismissed. We need to take a stand. We need to oppose those who see us as less than, and we need to have no fear in self-advocacy. We need to resist those who take their own experiences as fact Because we do not need to be palatable to be heard. To those of you who have lived past school, I encourage you to take my story to heart. I encourage you to hear disabled youth voices, and I encourage you to treat your youngers with respect. For widespread change, we need involvement from policymakers. To bridge the gap between school and government supports, intermediary bodies in schools should be implemented, co-designed by those with lived experience. These bodies will provide crucial assistance for students who feel their rights are being violated. Investigations need to frequently occur throughout the entire education system to ensure that all students' rights are actually being protected. And most importantly, greater strides need to be made in the direction of an inclusive education system. Funding to flashy new architecture or to the addition of new special schools should no longer be prioritised. Because we do not need segregation. We do not need integration. We need full inclusion so that all students, regardless of diagnosis, can get the supports that they need. Together as youth, we can push for respect and value to be placed on our words and our experiences, regardless of whether or not they are related to school. We can push our government to fund inclusion in mainstream schools. We can push our government to fund disability training for teachers. We can push our government to provide a future where disabled students have a place in mainstream schools. Because we matter. Thank you.